Hey, what's up guys, it's G-Rad here. Welcome to my first tutorial on DMX operating. This is going to be the setup I'll be using for the purposes of my tutorials. This is the Cheveo Bay 40 DMX operating light controller, and I have it connected to 4 PAR 56 127 LED cans. Each can is addressed differently, and with DMX operating requiring addresses, we're going to go over that first and foremost. And we're going to start by explaining how the board addresses work. Now, in my case, I have 12 fixtures and I have 8 faders. However, according to the manual, and you can see it up here when it's labeled, I actually have 16 channels. And you have 16 channels per fixture. So, with that being said, you have to just do some basic math, and that's where you will find the starting address for each fixture. Now, of course, fixture 1, the starting address is channel 1. And by doing the math in this, basically what you do is you do 1 plus 16 equals 17, which is where your starting address for fixture 2 is 17. Now, 3 is 33, 4 is 49, 5 is 65, 6 is 81, then 97, and 113, etc., etc. So you just go on through that. And that's how you will program your lights to your board. Now, on the lights themselves, you have to manually make the addresses happen, whether you have dip switches or a digital display readout. In this case, these lights have a digital display readout, which makes it very easy. The dip switches makes it a little bit more difficult because you have to do math to get the dip switches in the proper position. Now, addressing these lights properly is very crucial, because if you have a channel off, it will throw your operation off on the board. And unfortunately, that is not always the best thing to have to deal with. So, with that having been said, now that we have understandings of the fixtures and how to connect them, or how to get the board to read the fixtures or the fixtures to read the board, you will then be connecting everything together with what looks like a DMX cable, what looks like an XLR cable, and that's basically what it is. And you have a cable that goes from the board to your first light, and then you daisy chain the lights together to connect everything together. You don't have to run separate feeds from each light to the board, which I thought was a very nice feature to have, because unlike the old days where now that we're using LED lighting, everything can be done within one fixture color-wise, and for that matter, due to the channel assigning, you can basically daisy chain multiple lights together and just have one feed feeding everything on the board, and no matter where your fixture is, it will still work on whatever channel you have it assigned to. Now, with that having been said, we're going to go over the basic operation of lights. In my case, we are using the first 4 channels to operate lights 1 through 4, which are the only 4 that are up here on the T-bar. And as you can see, I have the first 4 faders turned all the way up, and that's emitting a white light. Now, your fixtures are going to vary depending on the brand, make, and model. Of course, I'm just using the budget fixtures from eBay because that's really all I can afford, but I'm having no issues with them, so I can expect a repeat performance. And these have lasted me a few months now, so I'm happy about that. And these are 7-channel fixtures, which means they are going to use channels 1 through 7 on the board here. Now, channel 1 is your master brightness. Channel 2 is your red. Channel 3 is your green. And channel 4 is your blue. I didn't turn them all the way down because I wanted you to see the faders moving. Now I'm going to turn them all back up. And you got your white full brightness. And in this case, channel 5 is my strobing. Turning it off turns it all the way in strobing to solid. Channel 6 with these lights is actually a speed controller, which does not get used unless you're using channel 7, which is your program features. These basically are the programs on the lights themselves. Program 1 is a red, green, and blue multiple color thing going on they got here. As you can see, it just kind of scans through all the colors. Program 2 is a red, green, blue multiple color combination fade. And of course, the higher up the channel 6 is, the faster it goes. And you slide this fader up even more, and you can see exactly where you're at with the LED readout display here. You will see that the higher up you go, now you're just going to get a red, green, and blue flash over. Then after that, you're going to get a red, green, and blue multiple fade in and out with red, green, and blue. And then you go any further up than that on the same slider, you're going to get multiple colors fading in and out right here. And then you turn it all the way up, it goes into sound activated mode, which basically controls by the noise that's being made. And the sound activation microphones are actually on the units, they're not from the board. But that is just this fixture. Like I said, you're going to look at your other fixtures and they will have certain operations. I have other fixtures and we will be going over those eventually. So that basically shows how to operate a DMX controller for the basics of single lighting, or in my case I just had all 4 of them on. So let's go through something a little different. Let's go ahead and just reset everything down to 0. And the reason why everything still is fully white is because I left the board in program mode just for the purposes of this video. Had I not used program mode, I would turn the fixtures off when I turn the switches off. So let's go ahead and grab fixture 1. Okay, so I have fixture 1, but of course you can see all the faders are off and it's white. Because this is a digital board, you would literally have to recalibrate, and now the fixture 1 is completely turned off. Because I turned the sliders up a little bit, enough to turn up to grab the fixture and control it. Otherwise, if you don't touch the fixtures when you change channels, the light will not change, just for the purposes of saving it, which I kind of like that feature. Anyways, and this is basically multiple light operation is what I'm going over. So I want to make fixture 1 red. Okay, so we have our red light. So I want to keep that there. I want to turn off fixture 1 so I'll lose control of it and it's going to stay red. I want to turn on fixture 2. I want to make it blue. So I'm going to turn it up. I'm going to slide the faders up and all the way down just so I completely turn off the fixture. Okay, now I want to turn up the blue. So now I have fixture 1 is red and fixture 2 is blue. Cool deal? Alright, now I'm going to drop control of fixture 2 and turn on fixture 3. Reset everything down. And I want to make it, I don't know, let's say green. So I turn up faders 1 and 3 all the way up. And see, now I got a red, a blue, and a green light. And fixture 4 is still white, so we're just going to roll with that. Because if I turn on fixture 3, turn off fixture 3 and turn on fixture 4, I'll just now have a red, green, and blue light up on the T-bar. Now I turned up the 4 faders, all 4 of them, to give a white light. So there's the setup. Now each light is independently a different color. And that is the beauty of DMX operating with multiple features and multiple fixtures. Now that I've dropped control of the light, I thought I did anyways, but apparently I didn't. So let's try that again. There we go. Now I dropped control of the light. All the faders are down, and you got your red, green, blue, and white lights up on the T-bar. This should conclude part 1 of this tutorial. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them below. This is G-Rad signing out. Peace.